Can I get a few thoughts from you on you joining us?
I think it's a massive privilege to join this football club. It's a massive club with great tradition, and I think, like I said, it's an honour for me to be here and be part of the whole setup.
And you touched on that there, but why Aston Villa specifically for you?
I just think the size of the club. Like I'm of an age where when I was growing up, Villa were a very big team in the Premier League, and I'm sure obviously the fans know that. And I think this club's striving to get back there, and they show great ambition to get me, and they wanted to me to come here and to be a part of what's obviously a big change round at the club at the moment. And the manager and everything about this football club is Premier League, and I wanted to come here and help try and get us back up there.
And I know you've got a lot of respect for Swansea given the period of time you spent there, the success you enjoyed there. But from your point of view, is it good to have a change of scenery and a new challenge? Yeah,
of course, yeah. I mean, you never know. Usually when it's right for a new challenge, you just have to take the punt and go with it. But I knew when this football club came available to me, for me to come here, I think it was a no-brainer for me. With the size of the club and the long-term plan here, I wanted to be a part of it.
And now, James Chester's one of your international teammates. Did you have any discussions with him leading up to the move?
Yeah, I think when I heard of the interest, I spoke to Chesy. We speak pretty, most of the time anyway, on and off on text and that. And obviously he's a good mate of mine playing with Wales. And I think I spoke to him about coming here, and he made obviously the same choice in coming out of the Premier League to play here and be part of the project. And he had nothing but good things to say about the club. And obviously it's a massisk club. And since coming here and seeing around the place, you can feel the tradition. And
also nice to have a familiar face here with him for you.
Yeah, exactly. There's Chesy here, and I've played with Micah before and Richie Delat, so a couple of faces I noticed.
Now, can I just ask you a little bit about your football journey today? You started off in the Manchester City Academy, went to Wrexham, came through their system, then became quickly established with Wrexham in the Football League, then played in the Conference. How vital was that experience for you in becoming the player that you are today?
I think for any young lad, it's important to be playing from the age of 17 onwards. If you can be playing men's football from then right through to your start of your 20s and mid-20s, it gives you a great sort of platform for the rest of your career. And I think, definitely them years in the lower league held me in good stead, and it made me realise what real football's about, and earning a living in the game at a very young age. And I think them early years, especially at Wrexham, were difficult to obviously drop down to the Conference at such a young age and play in that league. But I got some vital experience. I played with a lot of players at that level at the time who had played a lot higher up and maybe coming towards the end of their career. So I learned a lot off them. And then obviously I eventually got to move to Swansea and spent almost 7 years there. So it's a new era now.
And of course you made your professional debut for Wrexham in August 2007, ironically against Villa in a League Cup game.
Yeah.
So what memories do you have of that? Because I know you came on, was it a 79th minute substitute late on during the game? But that must have been a big moment for you.
It was, it was a big moment for me. I think that year I played a couple of games pre-season. I was just starting to, be a part of the first team squad. I believe it was 5-0, was it, that game?
That's right,
Villa
that's
won,
correct.
So not the fondest of memories of playing against Villa then. But I think, to make my debut was unbelievable, and especially against such a big club. Was a massive feeling. Obviously at the time when I played against them, like I said, that I was of the age where they were a very big team in the Premier League at the time.
Of course, you moved to Swansea then, who were in the Championship at the time. That's a big step. How did you adapt so easily and so quickly? I think I went there, and I had a great manager in Brendan Rodgers who come and sort of took me under his wing, and he's brilliant at working with young players and developing them. And I think it just fitted. I was there, and the left back spot was available. I think it was after Fede Bassoni had left for Leeds at the time. So I managed to get in the second game. I think I come on at half time for somebody, and I sort of never looked back from there really. To jump from obviously the Conference to the Championship was a big step, but thankfully I managed to just take it in my stride. Now, you represented Wales at Euro 2016, an incredible experience, I imagine, from your point of view, scored in the 3-0 win over Russia. Can you just tell us a little bit about that summer and what it was like to be a part of that squad?
Yeah, it was an unbelievable summer. We could talk about it forever. I think it's a feeling that still makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and you wish you could have lived that summer forever. That sort of feeling. it's not often you get them highs in football. You ask many footballers, it often feels like lows more than highs, for obvious reasons. But I think, yeah, that was one of the major highs that a footballer can experience, and it was a privilege, yeah, to play with them boys.
And of course, you're a left back. You come in here to play with Jordan Amavi, who's currently been playing at left back for us. Still relatively young, had a horrible injury which virtually ruled him out of last season. Do you feel that you'll be able to help him develop further as a player, working together and use that experience that you've accumulated throughout your career so far?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, yeah, he's obviously a young lad, and again, I think he's probably at a similar age where I started playing in the Championship as well. But he looks a good player, and a player that's obviously going to develop to be a very good one. And I think that goes for a lot of people here. I think there's a couple of good old heads here, and then quite a few young boys, and there's a good mix now. It's going to take time to gel for sure. But obviously, if us older lads can help the younger ones, then that would be great.
Of course, it's great to chat to you about your football career, but obviously we also want to know a little bit about you as a person. You're of Welsh Indian descent, and I know you do a lot of community work and have been over to India to help promote football over there. Can you just tell us a little bit about that and what you've done so far? Yeah,
I think a couple of years ago I decided with my agency to go out to India and do a bit of charity work, and sort of go out there and see how football's developing out there, and whether it's about to, you know, obviously the Super League has started, but we wanted to have a look at the grassroots and see if there was more footballers from that background that could be playing at any level, really, because there's nearly 1 billion people there, and there's not enough really playing throughout the leagues. Obviously, you've got one here, but yeah, it was more of a project to go and see what we could do, and in the meantime do some charity work and meet some amazing people. So yeah, that's my background. I'm obviously born in Wales and proud and play for the country, and this is actually my first football club outside of Wales. I've never played football outside of Wales, so
of course,
yeah, so I needed international clearance and all that to make the move. But yeah, so yeah, the Indian thing was something that we started up a couple of years ago. It's very difficult to get out there with our football schedule, and obviously in the summers we have international, so it's difficult. But I was happy to get out there.
That's absolutely fantastic. And just back to the football finally, what would you say your aims and aspirations are for the rest of the season here at Villa and beyond that?
Well, I've signed here long term because the club wants to get back to the Premier League. That's a fact. You know, I was at a club where I still, you know, had 2.5 years left on a contract, and quite happily could have sit there and said I'm going to stay here because I'm in the Premier League. But that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to come to this massive football club because they've given me the opportunity. And I want to settle in quickly with my family and my children, and hopefully make a good life for myself here, and in the meantime be successful with this club.